What's everybody? Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. Oh boy, here we are. It's another
Here it
day
is.
and we are home. That is right. My dear friend Cameron Rice is in the house with us. Well,
Woo!
not the house with us. He's in
No.
his own house. He's in a house. I'm in a separate house.
Yeah,
Social distancing.
correct.
Whoa, Cam. How is everything social distancing with you? What is a day in the life right now? Talk to us.
It's going okay. It's so I will say for the most part, it's funny. I was talking to my co-host Kelly Nugent over at El Rey. We are both, me and her, are both kind of people that can get easily panicked, as it were. Like we're very easily like, anxious, worst case scenario, trying to think, okay, if this happens, thinking people are mad at you all the time. That's our general day-to-day life. And for whatever reason, now that this is actually happening, there's this odd sense of calm. And Kelly was like, no, I feel that way too.
Like, so funny. What?
It's almost like
this makes you feel calm.
Because now it's not unknown. Like,
it's so unknown.
It's unknown as far as
unknown.
It's unknown as far as when it's going to end. But as far as like what the disease is, how to be safe with it, it's like we have these answers. I feel like Kirsten Dunst at the end of Melancholia. She's just like, what are you going to do?
I legitimately can't even process what you're saying right now because you're the first person to come on this stream and say like, yeah, honestly, this pandemic has made me feel real calm.
So maybe calm's not the right way. Calm's not the right way to put it. Maybe it's like just this odd sense of like flatlining, like, okay, kind of like I'm not waking up going like it's another day and jumping downstairs.
I can make fun of you all I want, but Hannah Christina says, I feel like Cameron right now too. Haha. So I guess you're not alone. I mean, I don't even know what to make of that. I somewhat feel the same as Cameron, says Zeno Hour. What is up with you guys?
Now, let me be clear. This has been, we're about to hit off like a little over 2 weeks since a lot of this kind of happened. I haven't been in contact.
On when you started self-quarantining versus when we had to stay at home, safer at home order. So yeah, some people, you could see everybody's days are different. Like people are like day 12, other people are like day 20, some people are like day 4. I'm like, day 4, where have you been?
Yeah, no, I approached the last outside the house kind of thing was I watched Cats with Emma on my birthday. And that was this Tuesday will be 2 weeks. So I'm on day 12, I think.
Cam, when was your birthday?
March 17th.
Did I say anything?
But a lot of people didn't. It's an insane time.
Wait, what?
It's all good.
Wait, hold on. So we dropped the Whirl Girls episode March 15th, and then 2 days later was your birthday, and we were quarantined, and I'm sitting here doing nothing. Did you post anything? March 17th. God damn it.
Yeah, I think I posted the Lisa Simpson joke, the Lisa, it's your birthday, where she's sitting at a table alone singing happy birthday to herself.
I missed all of this. Wait, this is going in my fucking calendar right now. Every year, March 17th, Roxy officially makes worst friend birthday. How do I do it? Repeat, or it says repeat never. No, repeat every year, bitch. Repeat
never.
No, your birthday is St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, guys. Let's hear some love for fucking Cam. He deserves it. What a shitty time to be having a birthday. What a shitty time. But I mean, unless you're you, where you feel this sense of calm, Cam.
Well, so that was the last. So I'm approaching 2 weeks on having no contact outside the house with anyone. Because me and Emma watched Cats at her place, and at that point, on the 17th, if I remember, it was still like, less than 10 people. I think it was the next day. It was like, shut it all down. This, that, and the other.
Shut it down.
Shut it all down. Stay home. So I think that weekend, so the weekend, which would have been like, I don't even know, like some date. I think that was the first time I felt like a little surge of panic. And truthfully, the panic didn't even necessarily come from like, will I get this or will someone I know get this? It honestly more was work related. It was more like, ooh, because I'm somebody who is kind of a workaholic. Like my relationships are my job.
Your work also requires you cannot work unless you are in the same room as other people. You are a photographer, you're a director, you're a DP, you're a host. You cannot physically do your job in social quarantine, social isolation, quarantine, distancing, whatever we're calling this coronavirus place. Like I feel you, because that's where the panic, I think, is for a lot of people right now who are getting laid off, but not only laid off, they don't see a sign of work in the future because it's an indefinite amount of time before. Not that I'm making your panic better right now.
Well, no, I'm actually, so I will say, so, like that was the one, I think was like Saturday, Sunday was the one bit of like, because like that's when it started to turn into, oh, this might not just be till the 19th of April, as far as like, because right now in LA, we have the whole like April 19th is at the moment when we are closing everything. And there's talk that it might go till May and this, that, and the other.
You mean reopening? April 19th is when it's coming back.
Yeah, there's been rumors and speculation, and I want to talk about that too. It's like, for me, it's also not panicking. It's also not constantly reading Twitter and the news about this all day.
Yeah.
I was reading this thread from this guy whose name I can't recall, but I'll try and see if I can find this thread. But
Larry, Bill, Tom, Frank, Harry, Henry,
there it all is.
Bobby. We'll just keep guessing.
But he works for like I don't know what you call it, but basically like an institution that looks at like possible world disasters and how to prep for it. And
was it Bill Gates?
Oh, that'd be amazing. No, it wasn't Bill Gates. No,
he's been doing the same thing for a minute.
Yeah, right. But so the guy talks about, he goes, advice to people is take this seriously, be informed, but also take a minute. It's okay to watch funny cat videos. If you spend all day, every day looking for the apocalypse, you'll find the apocalypse. Like,
well, I think that is good advice, because I was talking to a lot of my comedian friends about this, where the line is right now. If you're allowed to make jokes, are you allowed to smile during this time? Can you be happy? And one of the main things I wanted to focus on in today's stream is actually some of the positive things that are coming out of this quarantine.
Yeah.
And I do think that is one of them, finding the joy in the little things in life, as opposed to previously you'd watch a little cat video. And while you're watching that cat video, you're also on your way to work and grocery shopping, and you're figuring out what your friends are doing late. There's a million things, but sometimes it's about just like not having anything around you and doing something for 30 seconds and giving it your undivided attention and enjoying that and having that moment and moving on. And so I agree with that. Although it is important to take this seriously, because I feel like most people who are, it's a black and white. It's not a black and white situation, but a lot of people are treating it like that. So you've got the spring breakers who are like, I'm watching all the fucking cat videos I want. I'm in Florida. I'm on a beach. I'm amber. You can't take away my freedom. And then you've got the people like, no, this is a travesty. Everybody should be crying all of the time. Lock yourselves in your houses. Don't do anything for anybody. Get the door for no one. And there's got to be that gray area.
I think that's sort of the thing, is finding the balance. I think, it's so my routine right now, depending what time I go to bed, my sleep schedule is all over the map. I'm either falling asleep at like 11 o'clock at night or 5 a.m.
I'm a 5 a.m. gal. I've turned into a 5 a.m. gal.
Yep. And then waking up at like 2 and then being like, all right, I guess I'll take care of some stuff today. It's very interesting having like no photo shoots or no videos to edit or anything like that.
Cam, did you see that Demi Lovato I don't know whether this is a legitimate thing or not, and you'd have to tell me as the photographer, but Demi Lovato just posted pictures on her Instagram of somebody doing a photo shoot for her through Skype, basically. Like the photographer is taking pictures of her while she's moving around, and she has a webcam set up or something, and he's taking photos. I don't know exactly how it works, but there could be something cool you could do during this time.
Well, and there's definitely things I'm trying to think about, because again, like if we are indoors till, and again, this is like so I wake up, I read what the CDC says, I read what our mayor says, what the governor says, And that'll usually be about it until like the evening, like 7 or 8 o'clock, because then there's some updates. And that's usually my take in on what's going on. So that's where it's like, Business Insider had that piece about like Eric Garcetti is thinking about keeping everybody in till May. I have not seen that anywhere else but the Business Insider, but everyone has shared the shit out of that piece.
Yeah.
Like the mayor has not officially said that. And I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of people. But if
he has to do that, there's a reason.
And 100%. But it's that thing of like, I'm seeing a lot of people sharing. And if we got to stay until May, we got to stay until May 100%. Okay, that's what we got to do. And I'm not against doing that. But it's that thing of like, I'm seeing a lot of people sharing stuff and the source is like one article.
Yeah. And it's like, what is your actual source? Speaking of sources, what? Sorcerers, magic people, wonderful human beings. Joe Starr is in the house right now. Shout out to our very own Joe Starr. So happy to see you in here right now, dear. Our friend Cameron says that this is the calmest time of his life. So, Joe, what do you make of that?
Not what I said.
That's an exact quote. I read it in one article and I printed it. That's what he said. Also wanted to go to some super chats for a second. Okay. Billy Polahan says, Cameron knows what's uplifting. Big fan of his photography.
Oh, thank you.
That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
You do. You know what's uplifting, friend. Also, Larry Leeson here said, come on, rock stars, hit that like button. Yeah, 100 people watching live right now and 44 thumbs up. So let's get those thumbs going. And also subscribe. Don't forget Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, and Super Chat. Those are great ways to make sure that whatever you say gets read. And also, I have some Patreon questions. Anybody who's in the $10 tier and up gets to ask every single one of our guests a question on Patreon. So we will be getting to some of those as well. Because you guys you're the shit. You're the shit. You're the shit. Cam, this is a new thing that I keep doing. I just
sing dancing.
No, it's not that. It's not that you're the shit. Like all of a sudden I'll say something. I'll be like, that's a great song. It's a great song. It's a great song. It's a great song.
Listen, you just got to get hooked up with that guy who did the Cardi B coronavirus, because all she did was talk, and then he just put a beat under it.
That went everywhere.
That went everywhere. To me, that's the kind of thing. So it's like a way of keeping sane. There's 2 ways I'm really keeping sane right now, on top of just like not consuming news 24/7. Is I have me and the other hosts from El Rey Nation, so Grit and Hector and Kelly, we have like a group chat, and like obviously a couple weeks ago it was mostly about, hey, are you looking this up for work and blah blah blah. Now it is meme city. It's just like funny memes and weird sketches, the Cardi B coronavirus, like it's all that kind of stuff. I'm like, did you see this?
I don't do anything on TikTok, but I have been looking at it recently, and I can get lost in those videos. I'm a savage, sassy, bougie. Like I can watch those all day. Or the one where you turn the lights on and off. Have you seen all those? Flip the switch, and then the people are in the opposite outfits of each other. And usually it's like the girlfriend.
Is it like Elizabeth Warren kind of thing where it's like,
did she do that?
Well, it was her and Kate McKinnon. They did that kind of like.
Oh yeah. I saw them do that. I can't remember if it was to the same song, but yeah, the lights go out and they go back on, and like the girl's usually wearing some kind of towel and something skimpy, and the guy's wearing his big stuff, and then they switch, and the guy's wearing like a little thing, and then
I haven't seen that. I gotta look those up.
I'll start sending them to you. Also do. In here, Larry Lee says, "Hey Joe Starr, hit that like button. I see you." Larry, are you telling Joe Starr to hit that like button, or are you just saying, "Hey Joe Starr"? Yeah. How do you know that Joe didn't hit the like button? Also, I feel like we might have lost him too. We don't even know. King Sport Cow in here says John Roca TikTok. Is John Roca on TikTok? If so, I'm gonna have to find that like ASAP. I wonder what the heck he's actually doing there. Also, I've started like censoring myself, Cam. Like, did you just hear me say heck? What the heck's he doing in there? Who the fuck knows?
You've gone full grandma.
I know. It is so truly bizarre. I'm doing weird ass shit. I just want to do hood rat shit with my friends.
And also watching a lot of childhood favorite movies. That's the other thing I'm doing. It's just like,
did you watch Tiger King? Because that's all I care about.
I have not. I'm going to get to Tiger King.
Then you're not doing it right. Then you are not quarantining right. You are not.
I do have other documentaries to recommend, though.
Tiger King.
I got to see it. At the same time, I'm going to get to it. I am going to get to it. I'll probably get to it this week.
Love is Blind, The Circle, Tiger King.
So I did watch Dark Side of the Ring. I highly recommend that on Vice.
I hear it's great. I definitely want to see it. I was talking to Danielle Radford and she says she's waiting because she thinks it's being overhyped right now and she's scared about that. And I feel like I'm waiting for it to simmer down for a second. She hasn't seen it, but she's just saying she's worried that the hype is so real on it right now. Do you think I'll still like it if I watch it right now?
I think so. I think like the two. I don't think it'd be a bad idea also to maybe go watch season 1. It's only 6 episodes, I think. So then you get a vibe of like what the show is like. So then at that point, the 2 Benoit episodes they do, you're just kind of in the flow of the show. And that only makes like 8 episodes.
Okay. And maybe I will check it out. I haven't seen this season of Ozark yet, and I've got to binge that soon too, because I love Ozark, but it just feels like a weird time to be watching a drama so serious.
Well, and I think that's what my brain is making me go, oh, I just want to watch childhood favorites. So I watch like the original Ninja Turtles.
That's fun.
Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
That's fun too.
And God, what was the third one? Oh, Aliens.
Oh, now we have a glimpse into your childhood, Cam, right?
Oh yeah, trust me.
Yeah. Let's go over to the Streamlabs for a second. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Morse Code Z said, I'm lucky that I'm at an essential job that isn't exposed to the public, but I'm one of only 2 people coming into the office and I'm only working about half the month. So it's weird. Yeah, that sounds a little bit off, but yeah, you have to look at it like you're lucky because anybody who has a job right now, honestly, is lucky.
Well, that's my mom.
What's your mom situation?
She is a legal secretary in downtown LA. So here's the jobs that are still like jobs at the moment, outside of like the food service and things like that, is therapy. My friend who's a therapist said he's never been busier, which makes sense.
Mental health, they say, for sure.
Like he's taking obviously his Skype and stuff like that. My mom is a legal secretary, and she told me, she goes, people are still suing each other. Like lawyers are still working.
Wow.
So that's a similar case where she goes into the office and there are like an office that usually has like hundreds of people have 3.
That's wild.
And I'm like, I said, where's your closest coworker? She goes 25 feet down, another cubicle.
I wonder what the energy is like in there. Probably so strange.
Yeah, I think I asked her about that. I said, how do you feel? And she goes, she's like, I usually put it in headphones and listen to my audiobooks anyway. So it's not that different. She goes, it's only different when she like takes a break and that there's like no one in the break room. And that's where it feels like ghost town style.
That's interesting.
And also the fact is like, she can't. So yeah, I mean, she's fortunate that she's still working. She also just can't do the job from home because like they gave her a laptop to kind of do her job. And she's just like, I can't do it. Like she has like almost like a gamer 3 screen setup.
And there's got to be a lot of paperwork too.
There's a ton of paperwork. And she was telling me, she's like, because they had 2 days of her trying to work from home. And it was like, she's like, I can't do it. She goes, I can't get the files the way I need to and stuff like that. So they put her under essential worker and she has like documents that should, I guess, the police come in and try and kick them out of the building, which hasn't happened over the 2 weeks yet.
No, I mean, that's why they put out the essential for the same as me, that I'm a caretaker for my grandparents. So I'm essential to be on the road and go back and forth. That's like considered part of the essential thing. So I feel her on that, but it's good that she's not lost her job. That's a huge pro.
Again, it's like it's mental health, legal, and then obviously like the people we see like at hospital care, working in pharmacies. Yeah,
totally. Going back over into the streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Billy Paulhan says, you both rock. Big fan of Cameron's photography. Stay safe. He just wanted to show some love over here. Also.
Appreciate it.
We do appreciate that. I did want to take some of these Patreon questions. Again, anybody who's in the $10 up tier gets to ask every one of our guests a question. By the way, stacked ass week coming up. Tomorrow we've got Sam Basher. Monday we've got Dan Murrell. Tuesday, my friend Natalia Ramos, the actress I was telling you guys about, who was in the Bratz movie, was a Nick star. Wednesday, Jay Washington, and Thursday, Ken Knapsack. So we've got awesome people coming up this week. So make sure that if you guys want to get in your questions, you do that in the Super Chat, the Streamlabs, and on Patreon. So going to these questions, Donnie A says, which celebrities do you think post the best Instagram photos? Cam, using your photography eye.
Ooh, I thought you were going to be like, which celebrity's doing the best job right now? And I was going to be like, Arnold, keep putting ponies in headlocks.
It's so good. It is so good.
He is man, I gotta
ridiculous.
Think
Did you see him riding his bike through Santa Monica yesterday?
Oh, you mean where he stops in front of a mural of himself?
Is that I didn't even notice. Was there a mural of him behind there?
Unless maybe it's a different video, but there was a video the day after the donkey video. He put out a video of him riding his bike, and he stops literally right in front of a mural.
No, this is in front of Cabo Cantina or whatever in Santa Monica. He was like, good job, everybody staying at home during this. Santa Monica is empty.
I love it. He's the best. Man, celebrity. Honestly, I think I guess it's the definition of celebrities. I think like wrestling people have some of the best, like they know how to your
definition of celebrity. They're definitely celebrities. Are you kidding me?
True. But like your Charlotte's or Becky Lynch's and stuff like that, like they do a very good job of having both like here's workout photos and then here's sexy photos and then here's me at work photos. It's not all singular thirst traps.
Yeah, totally. I feel that. I'm not a big thirst trap after thirst trap kind of person. I don't like watching that on people's Instagram. It makes me feel creepy. Like if I follow somebody and they're only posting thirst traps, I'm like, am I supposed to be seeing this?
Man, but I'll tell you, man, like it is. I called it. I called it last week. I said week 2, people are going to start posting their thirst traps, and it did. People on Twitter are like, man, no one's hiding it now. There's people out there who have never posted a thirst trap who are just like, here's me in my underwear. My butt looks good, and I'm like, hey, and I'm not judging.
You do you, yeah, no judgment. It's just not my game. I wish I had that kind of game. Garth Harkness McMurray says, with all your beautiful photos, have you ever published a collection in a book, or do you ever plan to?
I'd love to. I know myself in that I'd be, and there's nothing wrong with this, I'd be critical of it. So I'd want it to be like, and then it also becomes like who goes into the book and what photos go into the book.
You mean who, as in which one of the subjects goes in?
Yeah. And then it becomes like, is there a theme to the book? Because there are some photographers who put out books and it'll be like, here's just a bunch of my favorite stuff. And then there'll be people who put out like, here's all my black and white close-ups. Here's all the city. Here's all my this. Here's all my that.
Right.
So it's like, I think there's a part of me that's like, I could see myself in a year putting out like a horror themed thing. Cause I've done enough like spooky horror shoots kind of a thing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Like a coffee table kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be dope. I love that. I think that you definitely have the horror thing down. And I know that we need to do a shoot doing that so I can make it into your book.
And we also still got to talk about World Girls episode 2.
I know. So I was on Doreena's stream yesterday. For you guys who didn't watch, Dorina, Steph and I did a stream yesterday on Doreena's channel. Bad Bruja, I think is her channel name. Bad Bruja. That sounds right. And we were talking about what we could do during quarantine for World Girls, shit that we could try from home. And so one of the things we think we want to do, Cam, is try to get Steph to do dating apps, and we tell her what she has to say to each of the people, and she can't say anything that Dorina and I didn't say, and she has to respond. Just like shit that we can do from afar.
Yeah.
Because when we come back, we already talked about we want to film the Ouija board one. Right. We definitely want to do a trying coffee one. They were like, why don't we do the trying coffee one while you're home? And I was like, yeah, great. So I'm by myself. I put in a fucking Keurig K-Pod. And that's my first cup of coffee ever, you fucking bitches. What are you trying to do to me?
No, I got an idea for how to do the coffee one.
Oh, I'm excited about that. I know we've talked about we want to do axe throwing because that looks cool. An escape room, shit like that. So yeah, but we got to figure out what we can do while we're in our house. Somebody recommended a spicy something competition. I guess there's these really spicy chips that you can order that you can try.
They'll get here by late May.
I know. It's like anything. I said, do you guys all have Legos? We could do a Lego thing. Steph was like, I don't have any Legos. I'm like, okay, order them now. They'll come in 4 months.
Yeah. Steph told her parents about the tattoo yet?
No.
She should tape herself doing that.
I know. That's true.
I'm going to give it a whirl, telling my parents about this thing.
she's being so weird about it. Do you know her brother is covered in tattoos?
I didn't know that detail. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's just like the perfect child. So she doesn't want to, I don't know. They are the sweetest people ever. They're not going to care. They're going to be like, maybe they care for a second, like, oh, Steph. Anyway, like, who the F cares? If my Jewish grandma didn't care that I got a tattoo, she's going to be fine. In the super chat, PRL18 says, Cameron going to watch WrestleMania next week? I'm guessing that's a question.
If there is a WrestleMania, people dropping left and right.
And well, did anybody besides Roman Reigns?
So before Roman, Rey Mysterio and Dana Brooke, who were supposed to be in matches, are self-quarantining. No one knows whether that means they're sick or their family's sick. Has not been said. The Miz showed up sick, and that's what finally made Roman Reigns go, I can't be here. So the Miz is out. Roman Reigns is out.
The Miz showed up sick, like sick?
No, that has not been, it's not been confirmed. What happened. All that we know is that because they've been taping Mania, it's like, it's not going to be a live event.
Right.
They've been taping it. So the dirt sheets right now are saying that the Miz showed up to tape his tag match with John Morrison and he was sick. And the Usos, who are Roman Reigns, who are also tag team, but they're Roman Reigns' cousin, were pissed that he showed up because
what was he supposed to do?
I guess not show up or not get on the plane.
Don't you think he probably told Vince? And
I don't know. There's so many. And the thing is, too, at the end of the day, for a lot of these guys, WrestleMania is the biggest paycheck they'll get.
Right.
Here. Now, I don't know if that also goes into the fact that now there's not going to be an attendance and all this other stuff. So Miz won't be there. Roman Reigns won't be there. And then it was just announced Andrade won't be there. He was supposed to be in a tag match. Does that affect now Charlotte because they're dating in real life? Now is she not going to be, so but Charlotte so far is still going to be there. Asuka's not going to be there. She just pulled out. So there's a lot of, not just like people who are supposed to be in matches, there's a lot of champions.
Yeah. So maybe instead of the 2-night event, it will be a 1-night event.
Depending on how they taped it. But they're also, what they keep doing is every time someone pulls out, they keep putting in somebody else. So like Roman Reigns pulled out and they put in Braun Strowman for that match.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. That's crazy. I just think like, breathe for a second. I know that I can't tell the man how to do his job because obviously he's created a ridiculously successful company, but like, come on. There's no closer bodily contact than in wrestling.
When you're chopping someone across the chest. Yeah. No, it's hard because they are in an interesting position in that wrestling is a thing that never stops. So the question, especially when it's like, the kayfabe of it all, the storylines and the feuds, but it's like, there's no guarantee this will be over in a month or 2 months or 7 months. So it's like, what do? Do you pause this $1 billion company for 7 months or do you keep these feuds going for 7 months?
I don't know.
And
I really don't know.
And it's a position that like wrestling's never been in. So I think like AEW for whatever reason seems to be they're doing a similar thing where they have empty arena shows. But as of right now, I don't know what they're doing differently than WWE. No one has seemingly reported sick or been sick or taken off AEW. I don't know what they're doing differently, but
it's how you just can't guarantee that nobody is sick when we know that you don't have. A lot of people don't feel the symptoms.
Correct.
So you could feel fine, people could, but I also understand. I feel bad for these wrestlers. Like poor Roman Reigns having to make that decision. It shouldn't be a decision he has to make.
Right. And there's a lot of like, I'm seeing a lot of, I'm friends with a lot of indie wrestlers and they're like, well, because a lot of what people maybe don't realize if you're not a wrestling fan is like wherever WrestleMania goes. So like they were going to be in Tampa. so many indie promotions go there as well.
Surrounding it. Yeah. That's how they make their money.
That's how they make their money for the year. So there's a lot of indie wrestlers I know who right now are pushing, and they should be pushing hard. They're like Patreon, or they're this, or they're that, to kind of be like, well, there went my big paycheck for the year.
Yeah, that sucks. Oh, that freaking sucks. Going back over to the Patreon, guys, patreon.com/Roxy Stryer. Lawrence Lee says, what is the entertainment industry future post-coronavirus? So obviously this is not we don't know the answer to this, but Cam, if you had to talk about some of the major changes, anything positive that could come out of it, the negatives that will come out of it, what it will look like, any thoughts about the entertainment industry post-corona?
Man, I think if anything, we're going to see, so I'm in a fortunate position, and realize I'm in a fortunate position in that once this is over, I go back into filming El Rey. Like, I know that job is there. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I'm in a lucky position more so than a lot of other people. So I don't take that for granted at all. That it's like,
so have they talked to you guys about, like, that you're good for, let me say what you can say.
Yeah, right. So we had gone back to filming, and we had already gotten like 3 weeks under our belts, when suddenly, and until the order came down from on the show, we only have at most a crew of like 20, like with everybody. That's like hosts, makeup people, the writer, this and the other, like in the studio. It's a pretty like little tight studio. So when there was still that week of like, okay, everybody can still go to restaurants, but be this many feet away from each other, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. We were still planning on filming, because it was like, okay, hey, we're all this many feet away from each other, and so on and so forth. And it wasn't until, was it like the 13th or the 14th when they were like, we're closing movie theaters, we're closing this, right, we're closing that. Then I got the email from the showrunners that was like, hey, we're going to put everything on hold until we get the okay, and we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Maybe things will get better. And then like literally later that week was when it was like, okay, we're closed. Everything's closed till the April 19th. And so then we got another email that's like, okay, hey, obviously this is affecting that, so on and so forth, but we all can't wait to get back to it. So that's as far as like, the way to get back to it part.
Yeah.
So that's going to be there.
I'm happy for you guys. Obviously I am friends with a lot of you on that show, and I'm happy that you guys have some job security, because I think that's probably really helping with your stress during that time. Why you feel so calm right now.
Maybe.
Calm Cam.
But I think, but yeah, as far as like the landscape in general, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with movies. There's so many conversations right now happening with like, because Invisible Man and all these movies are now you could just watch at home. It's like, well, will that be the landscape? Obviously, they're probably not going to do that with Wonder Woman, but maybe these $50 million budgeted films, they do drop day and date.
Yeah, but it's also going to be interesting. Yesterday they made all the Emmys announcements that the Emmys awards are not being pushed, at least not right now, the awards being in September, but the qualification deadlines have been pushed. The voting deadline has been pushed. So same thing, thinking about the Oscars, what's going to happen for award season.
I feel like it would not shock me. It would be a big story, but it wouldn't shock me if there's something of an audible on everything except maybe the Grammys, because people can still release music. At this point with the Oscars, it's like, what are you? And there were some baller movies that came out, in January, February, but it does turn into like, if nothing comes out again, really until let's say August, it's like, what is going to get nominated?
Yeah, but that's kind of when, it's not until October, November, December that really award season are making, most movies that are nominated are movies that are in the last few months of the year. So
no, and I think that's true, but I can easily see because the actors are the biggest voting body at the Oscars. I could easily see one of the guilds going like, hey,
this is
Audible this year. Like, there was 6 months of no movies.
Yeah. So calling an audible and doing what?
just not having, I think maybe to some extent, either not having any Oscars or pushing the voting stuff to when the this all started to like next April. And being like, okay, your movie has to come out before April.
Not that even awards are the biggest part of the landscape, but it is a big part of the landscape because it shapes when a lot of people release their movies and how they release their movies and the marketing and the campaigns and how much money they're spending on things. So, you know, it does affect it. And then I think that what a lot of bosses are learning right now is how many jobs can be remote. And I think that a lot of people are going to lose their jobs moving forward because the bosses are seeing who is essential right now and who is not essential and how many people you really need on a project. And do you need that brick and mortar, that overhead cost, or can you have people working from home? And I am concerned that there is going to be less jobs coming out of this.
It's going to be, I think that might be a thing that happens. I think there's also going to be a degree of like, it wouldn't shock me if that happens over the next year, if there's bosses who are like, because I think the other thing too that consistently happens is there's very often this circular thing that happens in the entertainment industry where it's like, oh, this is all the new stuff. We're all into this and the other, and then let's just go back to TV and movies. I think like, you know, people make the jokes. People, you know, there's enough people who we know making the jokes about Quibi where they're like, oh man, get that Quibi money because it's going to be like, oh God, what was the comedy one that happened a couple of years ago? But that's streaming like it's all comedy.
What was it called?
CISO.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think like people are into stuff for 6 months and it's the new hot thing in the industry. And then people just go, oh, just give me my TV and movies. I just want give me this.
And it was an interesting point you made before. I hadn't even thought about music that they can just like still do their thing.
If you're like Trent Reznor and you have a studio in your apartment, or not apartment, he's fine. I don't think Trent Reznor's living in an apartment.
You don't think so? It's a nice apartment. It does very well.
Yeah. I think also the thing that's going to happen too is we're going to see, and we've already seen it, man. It's only been 3 weeks. Which celebrities are like clever on their own account and you're like, oh wow, they actually are doing some weird funny stuff, and then which celebrities are clowns.
Yeah, I know. Like
let's say some stuff on social media and you're like, oh
no. Boy. Yeah, totally. I want to jump into the Streamlabs for a second. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Glenn Caesar, most generous person on the planet. That's what we call him because he is. He says, hey, Roxy and Cameron, happy Saturday to you both. Glad to virtually with you. Maybe glad to be virtually with you. Happy belated birthday, Cameron.
Thank you.
Congrats on the World Girls. Cam, what's your fave video game, series, or single game? And who's your fave video game character? Glad you were in the hashtag Rockstar Band. Just by the way, so you know, the congrats is because we hit 10,000 views on World Girls yesterday.
Oh, sick. Awesome.
Which is great.
Finally.
I know. I think that this timing kind of messed us up a little bit too. I honestly, what I wanted to do was hit 10K. So I feel like this was a great mark that we hit, but I think on our next one, we could do even more now that there's build up to it. But anyway, sorry.
It's a weird time. It's such a weird time. Man, favorite video game. So there's those games where you'll just always go back to, like, I love, I think Turtles in Time, Turtles 4 for Super Nintendo.
Turtles in Time. What the fuck is that?
It's the Ninja Turtles and they time travel.
Oh, it's like literally exactly what it says. Are you a huge Turtles person?
Oh yeah.
I know that about you.
My big thing, and I think this is something that's that's very different, I think, for children now because of streaming and all this other stuff. But I remember, like, you were kind of into the thing you were, for lack of a better term, like you were born in this time range and that's what was on TV. So that's what you got into. So it's like my sisters 3 years younger than me could give a crap about like Turtles and DuckTales and Ghostbusters, but that was my shit. It was like DuckTales, Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles. But the stuff that was around 2 years before me, before I was born, which would be like Transformers and He-Man, I'm like, that stuff's cool, but it doesn't like buzz me the way Turtles does.
Anytime I hear He-Man, I still think about Little Rascals, the He-Man woman haters.
With the Whoopi cameo.
Oh, I love her.
And then favorite video game character. I guess it's probably Batman. I've probably played more Batman games than anything if I think about it.
Yeah, totally. Batman's the shit. It's why he's so popular. Sometimes you ever like love a band and your favorite song is their most popular song and you feel like a tool because you're like, I should make a deeper cut. And you're like, no, actually, this song's really popular because it's fucking awesome.
I'll say the older I get, the less I'm concerned about and I think this happens with everybody, is like music wise, you're like, I like what I like. I'm just gonna, if this is a bop, I don't care how popular it is.
Totally. I feel that way as well. Guys, with about 15, maybe 20 minutes left in the stream, don't forget to get in your super chats, your Streamlabs. If you have a question for Cam, for me, or just want your comment to be read, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider. That is the best way to do it. Or right here in the super chat works as well. Going back over to Patreon right now, though, Glenn had another question for you over in the Patreon, who said, what's your favorite go-to meal to have when you're feeling down or out of sorts? Main course and dessert included. Main course and dessert included.
Man, I'm a pizza boy. I love me some pizza. Pizza and hamburgers are my two, like.
I love hamburgers. You know, I don't like pizza because cheese, but I love
I know.
I love hamburgers. So you like hamburgers, not cheeseburgers?
Oh, I mean, I'll rock both. But like, no, I love, so like over the last 2 years, like I'll just kind of get ground beef, throw some like steak salt in there, really mash it up, and then just like cook it on the grill. And I'll just kind of have just that with some like,
huh? Do you have a grill at home?
Yeah, I got one of those like George Foreman grills.
Have you been grilling during this time?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a lot of, because I'm trying to, I want to not return to the television show 25 pounds heavier than from the last episode. I've been buying a lot of turkey meat, a lot of ground turkey meat, and making turkey burgers.
Love a good turkey burger. You got to put some avocado on that because the turkey burgers can be dry sometimes. You put you make an egg sunny side up, you throw it on there, you do some avocado, some grilled onions, fucking precious.
And then also for breakfast, I've been doing like little turkey meatballs and then dropping an egg over that and then putting the top of like a pan top on top of that. So it all just kind of steams in itself.
Is it so good?
Oh, it's the juiciest thing.
You're gonna have to record that for me. So you literally make turkey meatballs out of what?
Just that's it. Just like ground turkey meat, and just kind of make a ball.
And then you just crack an egg right over all of them.
So I put them in. I let them cook for like maybe like a minute, and then crack an egg. But it's not like a quick crack. It's like crack the egg and then slowly so I can like position where everything's gonna drip. So it's all proportional onto the meat, and then put the yolk right in the middle. And then put a pan top on top of that and let that cook for like about 3 minutes and then check it, depending on how crispy you want the egg and the meat.
Oh, that sounds so fucking good.
Yeah.
I've been cooking a ton recently, obviously, because I'm not eating out. Even though I do think that if you can eat out right now, you should be trying to support local businesses if you can. Yeah. But I have been cooking. And yesterday in my apartment, I made fish.
That can be dangerous because you have a small place. If the fish smell,
that's where I'm going with this. So I made fish and cauliflower, and usually every week I go and I get a new candle. I have these like specific candles I really like, but I'm like out of those candles. So I was like, what do I have? And so somebody for the holidays sent me this big candle that's like holiday scented. And I was like, maybe I'll like this. So I opened my windows. I had the fish and I had this big holiday candle. And I am telling you, the combination of those things, the soul and this like cinnamony canned. Oh, it was the worst fucking smell you've ever smelled. I couldn't get it. You're supposed to get used to a smell when you sit in it for a while. It was not fucking going away. Did
you close your bedroom door or did it waft into your bedroom?
It wafted in my bedroom. I tried to close my door. It was too late. I put a different little bit of a candle. I lit a match. I tried to blow it around. The whole thing was like so fucking bad. And I wanted to keep my windows open to sleep because I was like, fuck this. But it's too scary for me because I'm solo, and I already sleep with a massive knife next to my bed during this time because I'm fucking freaked out. So I was like, I can't have the windows open. I'll never go to sleep. It smelled so fucking bad. Holy shit, Cam. Like if you had come over here, you would have been like, oh, like you could not have come inside. It was fucking horrible. So bad. Like,
and then as far as dessert, Cocoa Pebbles, a bowl of Cocoa Pebbles
that's
is
not dessert.
Oh, let me tell you, it
Wait,
can
do
be.
you put milk in it?
What?
You put milk in it?
Yeah,
That's cereal. That's breakfast.
that could be dessert. Chocolate cereal.
What?
It's good.
Weirdest responses today.
It is. It's good.
Dude.
People are gonna have my back.
No, here's the thing though. You don't want to make, because you could have that as your meal and then you can have dessert after. I'm a cocoa. I love I don't know about Cocoa Pebbles, but I love Cocoa Puffs. Are Cocoa Pebbles similar?
No, Cocoa Pebbles are I like Cocoa Pebbles better only because Cocoa Puffs, I have the same thing I have with Captain Crunch, which is like cut the top of your roof of your mouth.
Cocoa Pebbles are the ones that like look like Fruity Pebbles, right? Or no, what's the Cocoa Pebbles?
Yeah, Flintstones, yep.
No, I'm a big, I love Lucky Charm. So I don't like milk, so I eat cereal dry.
And I'm the one with the weird responses.
Apple Jack, I like Fruit Loops, I like Cocoa Puffs, I like Lucky Charms. Those are
Apple Jacks are the bomb.
Yeah, those are fucking great. I'm annoyed because Screen Junkies used to have those little boxes of cereals as part of Crafty. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And for some reason, Pac-Man got rid of them, and I miss those little. Well, first of all, I'm not going there right now anyway, but it's been a minute since they've had those, and I used to eat one of those every time I went, of the Apple Jacks, and they're so good. For me, because he asked in here what my answer to that was also, he said, Roxy, same question for you. Main course, I love ribs. I love an amazing fillet. So some kind of one of those. I also love a burger. So anything in that family, really surf and turf. If it came with some lobster or shrimp too, I'm really big surf and turf. And then for dessert, nothing is better to me than a chocolate chip cookie, but like a fucking dank chocolate chip cookie, maybe with ice cream, like a warm ass big chocolate chip, crunchy on the outside, mushy on the inside, ice cream topped fucking cookie.
What was the cake that Joe had at his birthday? Because it was a cookie cake.
It was so good. Cookie cake's the best kind of cake.
No, it was very good.
I also do like chocolate cake with vanilla frosting. And I like chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. I don't love vanilla cake. It's fine, but it's bland.
No, I like a good my my mom for my birthday got me a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting.
Can't believe I didn't even know that it happened and I knew it.
Listen, again, it's a weird time. Like there's so many birthdays in this time, and you gotta let it pass. You just gotta be like, it is what it is.
What is that? You're a Pisces?
I think that's one of those things I never paid attention to.
Oh, you don't go into that stuff. I think you are a Pisces. That's what Steph is too.
Then I think I am, yeah.
The more I know about you, Cameron Rice.
There's a lot of us around this time. Emma's birthday is like 5 days before mine. I think
I only knew it was her birthday because I filmed with her on that day. So I brought her a birthday crown. So we filmed 6 episodes of Screen Junkies that day as we were trying to get them in before lockdown. It was a fucking weird day.
I mean, good thing though, because although I do love anytime it goes up, people yell at you guys. They're like, "You guys need to be quarantined."
Junkies did that for us, but it is so crazy. The fans that are like, "Are you guys kidding me that you're not on quarantine?" It's like, dude, these are pre-tapes. They're fucking pre-tapes. But I do see some celebrities, like I think I saw Lance Bass and Tom, whatever the Vanderpump Rule guy's name is, Tom Sandoval. I think that's what it is. Doing a show together yesterday at like a studio with only 5 people, but they're pouring drinks, and I know it must be now because they say in it like as you guys are all on quarantine on day 12 of this, whatever they're talking about. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, how is this happening right now? Like, how are you allowed to? I mean, I guess we were considered podcasting and media were considered essential jobs, but still,
I don't. It's wild. I think like, I don't know. I and there's a degree where it's like, I get it. Cause it's like, yeah, people are like locked in their house for a month. You do have to have a degree of like some form of entertainment, I guess.
I know, but I don't know. Oh, I just remembered because somebody in the chat just was talking about matzo ball soup. Cam, one of the things we wanted to maybe do for World Girls, because Passover is coming up, I wanted to try to show them how to make a Passover Seder. But the problem is, like, doing it from here is going to be really hard because everybody's going to have to go out and get, like, Passover has weird ass shit on their Seder plate.
That could be part of the world. Can you find these ingredients?
That's true. But we also have to kind of try to be, we have to be safe. So when I went out for my grandparents this last week, I got them a box of matzah because I was like, just in case I don't see you guys until before Passover, although I will see them before Passover, but I just wanted them to have it because, like, I feel they're if you make it to 92 and 94 and you've celebrated 94 Passovers and you don't get to celebrate this Passover and you don't know, like, from God forbid that this is the last. I mean, I don't think so because I love them and I'm doing everything I can to make them. Yeah. But, like, come on. She said to me, she was like, "You don't think we're gonna have Seder?" And I was like, Graham, it's April 8th is Passover, I believe. No, we're not going to have Seder. Like, we're not going to my uncle's and having a 20-person dinner, you know? Like, that's illegal. We literally can't do that right now. She's like, "You don't even think by then?" I was like, "No, Graham, the 19th. Are you not paying?" Everything she does, she says, Rachel Maddow says I should be supporting local businesses. I'm like, she's not talking to you. She's not talking to you. I love Rachel, but she's not talking to you right now.
She's not, but at least it's Rachel.
I know, that's true. She tells me because I go to get her food and I say, "You shouldn't be getting takeout right now." And she orders Chinese. And I say, "Why do you do that?" Rachel Maddow said. And I'm like, dude, come on. She didn't say, "Dear people in their 90s at home, you know what you should be doing?"
Very old people, listen.
Grammy's like, "I'm supporting the local businesses." I'm like, oh my God, you're too good for your own good. Hitman Hudson. Oh, go ahead, Cam.
I was gonna say there's some local businesses I'm definitely like. By the Iliad bookstore is one of my favorite bookstores, and that's one of those ones where I'm like, oh God, please don't close. And they closed temporarily through this, but that's one of those ones where I'm like, oh God, I don't want to get that email that's like, well,
no. I saw there was an article the other day, like how to support your local bookstores during this time, but really there's not that much you can do.
Unless they have like an online retail thing.
Yeah, things like that. Hitman Hudson says, better film, Venom or Green Book. I don't know how this started becoming a thing that people compare those two.
Is this a thing? This is some kind of a thing?
It's the second time that somebody's asked me this, so I feel like it's a thing. Venom or Green Book, what is the better film? Cam, what do you think?
I'm going to go Venom.
Did you not like Green Book? Did you just find it problematic? What are your Green Book thoughts?
I thought it was fine. It didn't I totally, and people that got issues with it, I'm not going to deny them those issues. I thought it was fine. It was like, yeah, it was like perfectly, like it ended and I was like, okay. And I walked out. Whereas like Venom was so crazy. The fact to me that not enough people talk about that Michelle Williams wore the Venom outfit, so we had Venom with titties for part of that movie, and no one talks about it. I'm like, that's insane.
Awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. It was perfect.
Oh, I mean, I loved it, but my point being, that's why Venom is better. It takes like swings.
I think that here's the thing. I actually really loved Venom. I own it. I had a ball with it. I liked Green Book too, though. I'm not saying that it wasn't problematic, but I liked the movie. I liked the actual movie. So I think that what is the better film? Green Book. Which one do I feel like watching again? Venom. So It's always the question between what is better and what do I like more.
Well, and that's hard because there's a degree too. Is like you know, like sometimes amazing, great, beautiful movies are not the easiest to rewatch again and again and again.
Yeah.
Like I love The Godfather and Godfather 2. To me, that is a once a year sit down, like a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner meal and just soak in those two movies. But I'm not going to put it on like once a month.
Yeah, I feel that. I really majorly feel that. Cam, before we get out of here, I do want to ask you, because I am trying to bring a little bit of light into the world and into people's homes and lives right now. So we already talked about some of the positive things about quarantine, but what do you think is the most positive thing that is going to come out of this quarantine for you? What is this helping you with, if you can think of anything?
For myself, and I think it's been, I've seen a lot of people posting on social media, understandably, that it's like, hey, don't feel the pressure to have to write the next great blah, blah, blah. And I agree with that. Like, nobody should pressure themselves. For me, this has been very helpful as far as like sitting down and actually writing some stuff that I've been meaning to write. I just started writing the first draft of a movie idea that I've had for like 3 years. I just haven't had the time to like sit down and really like plot it out, because it's like I'm running to 2 photo shoots and getting home and editing a shoot that I did a week ago and then trying to plan other things out. So this at least like gives me time to sit there and be like, okay, let me actually outline the movie and let me figure out the beats. And then also in another way too, it's also been very helpful that all my friends are also can't do anything, because then when I'm like, hey, can you read this and tell me what you think, they're like, sure, and then they actually do it.
Yeah, and they want to. Yeah,
as opposed to like, hey, can you read this? Like, I'll get to it, and then months later they're like, I forgot.
Yeah, I think that everybody has good intentions, but you got to like stay on people about things.
I know.
During this time, it's like so quick and everybody's with it. Because yeah, Joe Starr had my script for a while and he couldn't get to it. And then quarantine happened. He's like, here's your script notes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. I think that is good, that hopefully it won't be the only project that you write right now. Hopefully you're able to think about all the things and bang out a bunch of stuff and things that you've been trying to do, wanting to do.
Well, and I think like there's also like, so I will plug it a little bit tonight. Tonight I am interviewing Eliza Schlesinger.
Huge.
Yeah, for the Pack Theater on their Twitch, which is twitch.tv/the Pack Theater.
What time is that at?
I will be going on so 6:00 our time.
6 PST.
Yeah, and I'll be doing the first hour. And that's not something I think obviously I would have been able to do if the quarantine wasn't happening.
Yeah, that's pretty huge.
To be able to, yeah.
And also, are you able to spend a little more time with your family during this time, or not as much because of the work situation?
No, I am, which can be hit or miss.
I get that.
Depending on the day, depending on a number of factors. But no, and then as far as like positivity, I think for other people, I think, I would highly recommend people watch, if you do want to be informed, honestly, like The Daily Show. They've still been like, Trevor Noah's been doing like The Daily Show from his house.
And he is so funny
He's so funny. And he's also like, again, that kind of thing of like taking this seriously, but also going, hey, here's some positivity. We're getting rid of it here. We're getting rid of it here. And I think actually the other thing I want to say too, because there's this platform, is like, I think it's very easy to get really wrapped up in seeing, oh my God, the numbers are going up. The numbers are going up, as far as like how many cases are happening and this, that, and the other. And the New York Times, I think, did a piece like 2 or 3 weeks ago that said like, once we get more testing, the numbers will go up. That doesn't necessarily mean all those numbers are also in the hospital.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people are self-quarantining, and also we're not actually getting more cases. We're just knowing about more cases. That many people had it, but as the testing goes up, so that's definitely true. And knowledge is power, so we have to know.
Yes.
It shouldn't be scaring people right now to see those numbers go up. That actually makes me feel like, great, we have more tests right now. Because
we have more tests, and we are in a fortunate position of being in California. So we have a mayor and a governor who are taking this very seriously.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of states that aren't.
that's my big question moving forward is like, let's say best case scenario, late May, they're able to go, okay, California, we feel pretty good about this. We can start slowly letting people go back to work and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. How do we handle travel from other states?
I think that they're going to really try to be strict on interstate travel right now.
Yeah. Well, right now, but I'm thinking about like even June.
Yeah. I think they're going to try to be as strict as they can. And to talk about your mom having that paperwork, I think you're going to need paperwork to prove why you got to go places, maybe.
Yeah.
To try to keep us safe. By the way, just so you know, in here right now, Ryan Nilsson, he says, shout out to the best photographer in the business.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Ryan, you rock. Happy to have you in here, my friend. Yeah, you are a dope photographer. And right now you're probably going to come up with another good positive thing about quarantine. You'll probably come up with all the shoots that you want to do when you come out. And when you come out, you're going to be more hungry than ever to be doing all of those things and feel more grateful about your time to do them.
One of the ideas I have, and obviously we'll see what people say about it, but I put it up, post about it like 2 or 3 days ago, was like, I want to do a post quarantine, what I'm going to call glow up, which is to say like right when it ends, have people, men, women, non-binary, come out where it's like, here's your real eyebrows, here's your hair without having gone to the salon for 2-3 months. It's That's like, awesome. Here's 20 extra pounds. Do a shoot, and then like a month later, come back once you've gone back to the salon and taking care of all the stuff.
I love that. That's so fun.
And do like a post quarantine, like day 1, and then show like day 200, the glow up after.
Oh, that's so many days later.
What a dream, right? What a dream.
Oh, anyway, we are getting out of here, but Cam, thank you so much for joining. I know you've got that show tonight, and you also have a million other things. So can you just tell everybody everywhere they can find you and how they can watch again tonight with you interviewing and talking to Eliza?
Yeah, so tonight, 6:00 is the twitch.tv/The Pack Theater. I'm going to be talking to Eliza Schlesinger, and I'm going to be talking to her about the Spencer movie she's in with Mark Wahlberg. That's on Netflix. Her sketch show is about to start. She's also been doing a live cooking show on Facebook during the quarantine. I'm going to be talking to her. Yeah, it's actually very funny and pretty informative, because I will say it's helpful to watch a cooking show, because I don't know if y'all know, finding eggs is very difficult. So trying to
Gelson's limits you to 1 pack. If you live in California, Gelson's is where it's at right now. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know.
They've got eggs.
And other than that, my photography is at Cam Rice Photo. Twitter is the Cameron Rice. And I think those are the major things. I think stay tuned, because I got some stuff that's going to be coming out. I'm writing something for Screen Junkies. I think that's all I can say at the moment, but I think it'll be dropping some point in the next couple weeks. So keep an eye out.
Some point, somehow, somewhere, some way.
Yeah.
It'll be coming out. You rock, Cam. You're the freaking best. Going over to the Streamlabs, we have one more I want to get in. Dodger Ryan 124 says, happy Saturday. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Dodger Ryan. We appreciate that. To all of you guys who joined us on this stream today, hopefully we made your day a little bit brighter. I know this is a bizarro time, but Cam's calmness made me a little calmer, and hopefully you guys out there too. I will be back tomorrow at 1. For anybody who doesn't know, during this time, during quarantine time, I'm live every single day at 1 p.m., except on Fridays when I have DC movie news at that time. So I go live right after at 2:30. And that's my schedule for all of quarantine. I don't want to leave you guys hanging, so I'll be here no matter. And like I said, we've got dope ass guests coming along this week. Sam Basher being the one coming tomorrow. You guys know him from SourceFed and then Only Stupid Answers, New Rock Stars. He's been all over the place, and he is an absolute riot and a great guy, super nerd. So that's going to be a good one tomorrow. So make sure that you're with us. Then get in your Patreon questions if you're in the $10 up tier. If not, go to streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer or in the super chat. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us today. One more round of applause at home for Cam Rice. Cameron, yeah. Everybody's clapping with me. I can picture it now. Okay, we will see you, or I will see you tomorrow. You will see Cam tonight doing big things, interviewing big people, way cooler than me.
Oh, good.
That's true. She's amazing. Bye.
Bye.